admitted. And are we recording, Bob?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And I'll get my camera going here. Sorry, I'm in the truck. First order of business is to approve the minutes from the last month's meeting. Can I get a motion to approve the meeting from last month? Or yeah, it was last month. Okay, second.
I'll second it.
Second from Matt. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Very good. Just for the record too, I want to indicate everybody that's in on the meeting. That's Jonathan Pinkney, Chairman, Code Enforcement Officer Jeffrey Murray, John Tayo, Board Member, Matt McGuire, Board Member, and Bob Washoe for Canton Municipal Board meetings. Jeff, you just want to give us a quick overview of the application that was presented to us tonight for an area variance on County Route 21.
The Anson's sent in a property or a subdivision for the property that he owns. He wants to turn it into 2 lots. He lacked 10 feet of road frontage to make it perfectly legal. So that's what we're here for, is to just give him a variance on, instead of 200 feet of road frontage, each lot will have 195. They're dividing it so his son can build a house on the other half of it. And that's just good for us. It's another new house in Canton, so it's more revenue for us. And the lack of 5 feet on each lot, I don't think is really significant. So that's the area variance that we need.
Okay, very good. And everybody saw that map that shows the divide. They had 390 feet of road frontage, and they divided it down the middle with 195 each lot, or it was just over 195 for each, correct?
195 each.
And looking at the lot, that was the only place they could divide it, correct, Jeff?
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah. Okay, any public comment? I don't see anybody in. I did have one, a Paul Austin property owner, said he was not going to place a public comment. Did we receive any public comments? Do we know?
No, I didn't receive any, and there was only 4 people that were involved in this. Paul Austin was one of them, and then Gerbotten Farms from Herman, and then a girl from Herman, but nobody called me to object to this.
Okay, yeah, and the one person that reached out to me said he wasn't going to place a comment. So I just don't know if he just got noticed and wasn't sure what was going on at the time. But he says there was no comment to be posted. So I have no public comment then. Public comment will be closed. Okay, let's move in. Everybody feel that they can make a decision on this, or does the board need to do some more investigation or ask any questions to the code enforcement officer?
I had a couple questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
First of all, I guess I was a little confused about the address of the property. I tried to go out and look at it, and the address that's listed, 2279, seemed to bring me to another person's address.
Yes, that was
according to the tax maps, the property is actually 1911 County Route 21.
that was a clerical error. I don't know if it was me or if it was probably me. I looked it up on the map and got a different address from what the actual one was. And then I thought I corrected that and sent that back out, and I hope I did, but maybe I missed that.
Okay, it wasn't on the one. Yeah, it wasn't on the copy that I had received.
Well, I apologize for that.
Okay. And then are there going to be any setbacks or anything like that on the newly divided piece if they were to do any construction?
There shouldn't be. They're both lots are plenty big enough to be able to stay off and get the setbacks that are required for him to build. And the way they did it, there isn't any issue with what's existing there now. So he's all set, because the new house of course, hasn't even been started yet. The old house is on the other lot, and that's well away from the property lines, so we don't have to worry about that. There does, on that map, it does look like that building's very close to that one that one building, but they still have the required setbacks there.
Okay. I was out there and I didn't, it seemed like they had started putting in a driveway or at least a gravel road that seemed really close to the dividing line, but.
Yeah, but the driveway there's no setbacks on the driveway. You can bring the driveways right in on the property line if you want.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. And so I guess the one question I had emailed when we first saw this is, since we're creating 2 non-compliant properties instead of 1 by doing this, does that affect the discussion at all? Because now they're both going to have less than 200 feet of road frontage, as opposed to one of them being 190 and the other one being 200 or something like that.
Well, that in the way they did it, I think was the proper way, because that way they could keep the setback on the existing buildings where they needed to keep them. And in upcoming zoning changes, this is one of the things they've already discussed, is that the 200-foot road frontage is just way more than what should be required of a lot to be a decent building lot in the town of Canton. Early on in the discussions, we talked with Monica, who is doing it, and that is probably going to change. So I think they did it the way they should have done it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Those were my only questions.
Yeah, and I did ask the same question too, and Jeff gave me the same answer on that as well, Matt. Okay, any other questions? John, did you have anything?
No, I'm ready to move ahead.
Okay, let's move ahead. We'll go into the area variance questions. Sorry, I'm not going to be able to share my screen. It'll just be a yes or no answer to each question. Whether an undesirable change I'll just read it. An area variance shall mean that the authorization by the zoning board of appeals for the use of land in the matter of which not allowed by the dimensional or physical requirements of the applicable zoning of the regulations. In making a determination, the zoning board of appeals shall take into consideration the benefit to the applicant if the variance is granted, as weighed against the detriment of the health, safety, and welfare of the neighborhood or community by such grant. In making such determination, the board shall consider: 1, whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties will be created by granting of an area variance. I vote no, an undesirable change will not be produced. Matt and John?
No.
I agree.
No.
Yeah.
Matt, okay. That one is a check. We're good. Whether the benefit sought by the applicant can be achieved by some method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than an area variance. No, there is no other benefit to the applicant that this can be achieved by some other method. So we're good on that one. I vote yes for a pass on that one. John?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Okay. Whether the requested area variance is substantial. Yes, the variance is substantial because it will produce the building lot needed. John?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Okay. Whether the alleged difficulty was self-created, which shall be relevant to the decision of the Board of Appeals, but not necessarily preclude the granting of an area variance. It is self-created in terms of the fact that they are choosing to build another lot, but I don't feel that that should preclude from granting the area variance, so I check it off as a pass. John?
Pass.
Matt?
Pass.
Okay, the Board of Appeals in granting an area variance should grant the minimum that is deemed necessary and adequate, at the same time protect the character of the neighborhood, health, and safety and welfare of the community. I feel we are doing this as just another house is going to be built. Everybody's in agreement?
Agree.
Agree.
Okay, very good. The area variance shall pass. They have 1 year to act on this and start construction. I foresee them doing that. Don't you, Jeff? There shouldn't be any issue there.
No, these guys both work for the same construction company. So, yeah, I don't see any issue with that part of it at all.
Yeah, I just didn't know if maybe it was being done so they could sold it, but I think it's because somebody else is ready to build a house, right? So,
Yeah, the son is ready to build, so.
okay. Very good. I think that's all we need. Any other topics of discussion? And please, I apologize, I don't have the agenda right in front of me, but I believe it just, is there any other new business that needs to be brought up to the ZBA board before we end our meeting?
None that I know of, Jonathan.
Okay, no new applications in the works?
Not that I know of right now.
Okay, the only thing I had is just I had sent that email out for training. I believe that was coming up here soon. I'll follow up on that. And if anybody was interested, we can get you signed up. It looked like just a day meeting from like 10 to 2 or noon to 2. So if anybody's interested in attending, please let me know. Or I know in the past, Lisa Hammond has helped us get signed up for those trainings, as well as the town will pay for any zoning board training that the board wants to act on. So, okay, that's all I have for new business. Can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So move.
Motion by John, second.
A second?
Second by Matt. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Meeting is adjourned at 5:13. Very good.